Three major injury boosts as we do prepare to take on Liverpool in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, the only title we could win. We finished in the final at the last stage. The hope now is that we can get to the other end of the line and win it. Welcome to the United Road Sport. My name is Wade, and here is the early team news ahead of our home game versus an arch rival in Liverpool. Now, Erik ten Hag has made it clear that we are expecting three major returnees as we do take on Jurgen Klopp's side. One of them is a man we've been craving ever since he was seriously injured in the last couple of weeks. Rasmus Hojlund is expected back. Erik ten Hag confirmed this, that Hojlund will be expected back to come and lead the line. In fact, the expectation is he will be fully fit to be able to start. Erik ten Hag doesn't want him to return and be on the bench. Hojlund has got to return and start. And between now and the day of the game, Erik ten Hag is hoping that he will be working on himself to be fully match fit to come out there and go guns blazing like he was by the time he got injured. So it's a big boost. And Erik ten Hag said after the win against Everton that it was an important win, because if you're going to expect new players who have not been there for a long time to return, you want them to return when the team is in some sort of mood, if I would call it that. Now, honestly, with the way we beat Everton, one of those more convincing and calm displays we had, honestly, what a perfect timing it would be for Rasmus Hojlund to come and return and just make us a little better against an even stronger opponent. I watched the game between Liverpool and Man City, and I'm thinking Virgil van Dijk really tamed and took proper care of Erling Haaland. I don't expect him to do the same to Rasmus Hojlund. In fact, it's an opportunity for us to see how Virgil van Dijk will do. He passed the test with flying colours against Erling Haaland. Trust me, Rasmus Hojlund will be coming in with hunger to expose him and show him that he is indeed potentially a better striker than Erling Haaland. So I've got utmost faith and belief in Hojlund and his ability to score in what should be his first meeting with Liverpool. So let's wait and see how that goes. It's going to be an exciting one. He's not alone. We're also expecting the return of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka last played in the 2-2 draw against Tottenham mid-January. That was the first game of this year at Old Trafford. And, it was a very good performance, if you ask me, from him, because he played on the left in that game. He was playing as a left back. And that's the game I watched. I was at Carrington. I was at Old Trafford. I watched that game, and I was in shock at how impressive Wan-Bissaka was as a left back. And this has been one of our biggest departments, I think, in terms of struggles. It's one of the departments that have suffered the most with Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malaysia. We've had all people coming out there to fill that gap. We've had Amrabat at some point. Now it's Lindelof. We had Diogo Dalot being inverted at times, Wan-Bissaka himself. I'm thinking if Bissaka is back and he has been training with the team, training on grass and with the team, Erik ten Hag confident he will return. If Bissaka is back, certainly it sort of lifts the pressure off Lindelof, because for a few games he has been exposed, and you'd expect that Mo Salah will be fit to start for that for Liverpool in that game. And Salah loves to fly from the right. That's for them, or from the left for us. So you think you need a Wan-Bissaka who is a proper game reader, who can steal the ball off him. He times his attacks and tackles. So for me, I think it will be a huge boost. The hope, though, is that he will be match fit. He has not played for a long time, like I said. We might have reservations about his fitness, but if he's fit at even 80%, I think Bissaka would be a better option than Lindelof to start as a left back in that game. If he can give us just 80% of his fitness, I think he'll be good enough to start. That's another major boost we should be celebrating. The other is Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire in the central defense. And we know that by the time he got injured again, he was performing well. He had just been, I think, man of the match in a few games before that. So Harry Maguire is an important player for us. And when he's there in that central defense, certainly it lifts the pressure off Johnny Evans. We know that Johnny Evans was performed extremely well in the last game. He was, in fact, I saw in a post on Instagram, the captain was calling him Johnny Zidane Maguire in response to a photo he posted with his family. He called him Zinedine Zidane. I mean, that's how good he was. But you cannot rely on him more so when we are going to play against a very pacey, direct team like Liverpool. Whereas his experience and calmness can come in handy. You think the physicality of Harry Maguire might be better to partner with Rafael Varane, and maybe Johnny Evans comes off later if we won the game and tries to manage it with the experience. So I think for me, Maguire's return, again, depending on how fit he will be so important. We cannot fully rely on a 36-year-old Johnny Evans. So big boost as well for us. So a central defense of Varane and Harry Maguire would be better to look at. Then have your one Bissaka on the left, then Dalot on the right. That's a bit of a fair backline to manage Liverpool. Then, of course, in the middle, if you've got Kobe Maino and Casemiro, and then Bruno, then up top Hojlund, then Marcus Rashford and Garnacho, trust me, that's a solid team to feel that we can be at Old Trafford confident that we can win a game of football against arguably the best team in the league so far and title favorite. So I think these injury these injury boosts are so important in terms of bring back our confidence. They may not even be fully fit because they've not been playing for a while, but just their presence there for me will boost the confidence of Man United, psych us up for us to know that we can go out there and grind a result or even win convincingly against Liverpool. I feel like since the Man City game, we lost, but honorably. Then we play against Everton in a calm game. I felt we played calmly, applied ourselves. So Liverpool is coming at a perfect timing for me. And I feel we've got the confidence. And given that in the reverse fixture, we're able to hold them to a goalless draw, I think we can calm ourselves down and be able to beat them. I feel we can go into this game with the approach of the protagonist. We are the aggressors, be more proactive, with confidence that we can beat them at home, because that's what we need to see. That's the improvement we're expecting to see. It's against teams like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool that you want to judge a Manchester United team, because the fans want to win those games. Those are the games we do want to see our team win. And I'm thinking, what a timely boost for Manchester United. So that's where we are as it is now. But the most important one for me is Rasmus Hojlund. That threat up top is always going to be important, because if you don't have a Rasmus Hojlund and you're going to play with a false nine, you're going to let Virgil van Dijk loose. He's going to be all over you, coming in for those set pieces, moving, because you see how he loves to involve himself in play. You saw him against Man City, and he was not even respecting Haaland. Haaland had, I think, about 28 or 20 all less touches on the ball for the entire game. They properly knocked him out of the game. Hojlund is more physical. He's more involved in play. So if he's going to be there and busy to keep making these defenders busy, Liverpool will not have a lot of time to come at us. They will have a lot to control in their back. So meaning we'll have less pressure to deal with. But if the Liverpool defenders, the Van Dijks, if they all add on to the attack, then they become a more different lot. They become more difficult to deal with. I think if we play a calm game like we played in the reverse fixture, have your Kobe Maino and Casemiro calmly playing holding midfield, then you get your Bruno as your number 10, properly committing to a number 10, of course adding to the defense a bit to support the defensive midfielders a bit, but most importantly have Hojlund make use of his physicality, keep them busy, then Garnacho dribbling at them, Marcus Rashford space out wide. I honestly think that Liverpool will be tamed. They will respect us, and the more they respect us, the more we grow into the game, we can beat them. Even if fair and square on paper, they will come into the game as the odds-on favorites. For me, I think it's possible. Big boss, as we do, look ahead to what's coming. Man United up against Liverpool in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. Success for Man United this season, for me, will not only be finishing among the top four, because it's increasingly looking difficult, though still possible, but success for Man United will be at least lifting, or at very worst, reaching the FA Cup final again. But the fact that we are in the final to lose the best team that won the treble in Man City, this time around we would want to win it. But for me, it's the final before the final. Man United Liverpool is the final before the final. If we beat Liverpool, it will give us a lot of confidence, even for the rest of the games we have in the Premier League as we chase top four. If we beat Liverpool and knock them out of the FA Cup, trust me, we can go out there and win every game we're left with in the Premier League, or draw a few and be able to push for top four. But most importantly, we will be a step closer to winning the much coveted FA Cup title, the oldest football title in the world. My name is Webb. That's the early team news. I'll be back later.